Hey guys, Noob73 here. Welcome back to a Noob's Guide to Feed the Beast. Now, in our last episode, we took a look at the myriad of new ores and resources that are available in a Feed the Beast game. So, let's say you start your new game, you go digging, and you get an inventory full of ore. Let's go ahead and I should have set that up ahead of time. Let me go ahead and do this. Let's see. Ore. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab some gold. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Copper. Copper, there we go. Some iron. And not diamond. Just the metallic ones. Let's see. Silver. Yeah, let's grab some silver. And some... Where's the tin? Tin. I know you're here. Where is the tin? No. Oh my gosh, where's the tin ore? Grab some ferrous. There we go. There it is. Alright, so you got an inventory full of ores. Now what? Well, in a standard vanilla game, you would come over. Oh, there we go. Forgot to turn my jetpack on. You'd come over to your handy-dandy trusty furnace, and you'd start plunking those things down in there, you know? Let's see. And you'd wait for that to finish, and each block of ore would net you 1 ingot, which is good, but we're talking Feed the Beast here. I mean, the whole point of Feed the Beast is opulence. It is getting the absolute most out of what the world gives you. And that's why one of the most integral parts of Feed the Beast, and one of the first things you need to look at, is ore processing. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Now, we've got a series of machines that you're going to want to work on getting one of these setups as quickly as possible, because what these do, all of these setups allow you to double your ore output. For example, when you put 1 ore into a standard furnace, like I said, you get 1 ingot. Well, with these setups, for each block of ore, you get 2 ingots. And that is done by grinding the ore up into dust or pulverized, metal, whatever it's called. Now, the first setup is the lowest tech, and if you're lucky, it's probably going to be the easiest one to go with, and that is a quartz grindstone. Now, this is the only ore processing setup that does not require power. The reason for that is this is human-powered. What you have here is you have a quartz grindstone, and you have a wooden crank. Now, these are made... This is how the quartz grindstone is made. This is why I said you need to be a little bit lucky on this, because you do need to be able to find some quartz. And remember, this is the rounded quartz, not the pointy quartz. If you find a couple of quartz blocks and you mine them, you might get quartz dust immediately. Otherwise, you're going to need to have one of these other setups already to grind up a piece of quartz to turn it into quartz dust. So obviously, if you don't already have one of these, you're going to need to wait until you find some quartz blocks that give you dust. But basically, 3 dust, 2 cobble, 3 smooth stone, and a wooden gear, which is made by sticks, will net you a quartz grindstone. And then you take sticks and you lay them out in this pattern, and you get a wooden crank. Now, you put the wooden crank in the top of the grindstone, you throw some ore in, and then you right-click it, and you keep right-clicking it. And you keep right-clicking it. You've got to keep it going. And the longer you right-click this crank, the more it's going to develop this ore into dust. Now, like I said, this is all you need, technically speaking, but this is the slowest and least effective method, because basically you're stuck here doing this. So if you got a lot of ores, you're going to be stuck here doing this a long time. Now, there is a device called a turtle, which theoretically, I've seen it done in the past where you can set up a turtle on a block next to this, and you can program it to push that, push the crank for you. But number one, I don't have I don't have the program for the turtle, so I wouldn't know how to show it to you. And besides, that requires even more resources because you have to build the turtle, which admittedly is not expensive, but you know, it's more stuff. So that's the quartz grindstone. The next level in difficulty, in my opinion, is the thermal expansion machines. Now, what you've got here is you've got a pulverizer and you've got a powered furnace. Now, these both require power. They're being powered right now. I'm not going to deal with how the power is generated because that's going to be the next episode. But for right now, once you have these items powered, then you can plunk some ore into the pulverizer, and it's going to start processing it. Now, the neat thing about thermal expansion is, well, hopefully... Oh, my bad. Okay. The neat thing about thermal expansion, if you have it configured properly, is that once you put something in one machine, if the two machines are connected, it will automatically pass it to the next machine. So what you can see here is the iron, it's not even showing up here anymore. You'll see when this is done, it just pops, and you're not even seeing it here anymore because it's automatically passing it to this next machine. So this is the pulverizer, which doubles each block into 2 dusts, and this is the powered furnace, which then turns those dusts into ingots. And as you can see, it automatically passes them into this chest. So no tubing, no manually pulling stuff out of this one and putting it in this one, and then pulling it out of this one and putting it in the chest. It's all done automatically. Now, the other cool thing about this machine is you have this little extra spot right here. Now, I'm grinding iron, and I've got some ferrous metal down here, but each ore has the potential to give you a bonus material, and it's specific to the type of material. So iron has a chance of giving you ferrous metal. I believe tin has the chance of giving you silver, and I believe copper has a chance of giving you gold. So it's not going to be a very high chance. It's going to be like, maybe 10-15%. But if you're grinding a whole stack of material, you're going to get some of that bonus material. And once the main material is finished, the machine will then pass the bonus material over to be smelted as well. The other cool thing about these machines is they have a specific display showing you how much energy they're receiving and using. Now, like I said, we're going to talk about power generation in the next episode, but I will tell you this. These machines have an internal power storage, as you can see. So if for some reason your power generation stops in the middle of this machine's process, it's not just going to immediately stop. It's going to then use the internally stored energy, and it's going to clock it downwards. So instead of using 4 units, and I'll go over what this means in the next episode, it'll go down to 3, and then 2, and then 1, and then 0.5. And so it'll try to get the maximum amount of work done with the remaining stored energy. And that's a feature of the thermal expansion mod. This is one of my favorites, and you're going to find that, barring the quartz grindstone, this is probably going to be the route most people will start off with, especially if you're running Ultimate or Minecraft, because both of those have Greg Tech, which makes industrial craft recipes a lot more complicated, but they don't touch thermal expansion recipes. So these are going to be the easiest actual powered machines to start with, because basically all you need is gold and redstone, which admittedly those are pretty low in the world, but it's easier to get those than some of the stuff that you're going to need for this next section, which is the industrial craft setup. Now, These machines are called macerators, and this is an electric furnace. Now again, these are receiving power. These require power, and we'll discuss the power in the next episode. With these, as with the pulverizer, you can just drop a stack into the macerator, and it will begin macerating. Now, unlike the thermal expansion machines, these do not pass the materials on automatically. You can set it up to pull the materials out with tubes and move them. Personally, I think that's it's kind of a waste of time, and it makes things look very complicated because you have tubes running all over the place. Sometimes you have to have an engine running the tube in order to pull things out, and it looks kind of spaghetti-ish. So I'm gonna say right now I'm a little biased towards thermal expansion and against industrial craft. Now again, the macerator. Let's take a look at the recipe here. Okay, and keep in mind this is the ultimate mod pack, so I am running GregTech. Oh no, it's not what I wanted to do. I don't need any more macerators. The recipe for the macerator requires diamonds. It requires several different kinds of internal, usually a machine block, which is a type of iron, and it also requires, it's a lot of different things. I usually go for the advanced circuit. Now, the advanced circuit is pretty difficult to make, and I say that, but when I say that, I mean it's pretty difficult to make at the beginning of the game, because one of the things that's required for an advanced circuit is glowstone dust, which you're not going to have until you go to the nether. So starting out, this is not going to be an option you're going to want to go with, unless, of course, you're not running GregTech, in which case it's easier to make. Now, one advantage that this machine has is it has these upgrade slots right here. Now, these overclockers actually make this run a lot faster. Let me go ahead and pull these out. Now, you can see without these overclockers, this thing runs really slow. It runs quite a bit slower than the pulverizer. It actually runs about the same speed as the quartz grindstone. But when you put these overclockers in, it speeds up a lot. Now I'm going to take that stack of 64 out. And you can also put these transformer upgrades, which has to do with power generation. Again, we'll discuss that further in the next episode, but just keep in mind that industrial craft, everything's more complicated in industrial craft. That doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, because that means sometimes you can get more stuff done and you can accomplish more amazing things, but it just means everything's more complicated. Now, this is the electric furnace, and again, you can put the ore in. Now, you look how fast that is running. This is a clear advantage that industrial craft does have. If you want to get stuff done, this is going to be the setup that's going to do it the fastest, but again, it's going to take a little while to get there. And you can use these overclockers and the transformer upgrade again in the furnace, just like you can with the macerator. Now, the electric furnace is right, where is it? Oh, it's the very first one. Okay, let's look at the recipe for that one. So this one is a lot easier to make at the beginning of the game. It takes an iron furnace, which is either a circle of iron or a regular furnace with 5 iron in it, and then 2 redstone and a regular circuit, which is just these copper cables, redstone, and this, which is refined iron. Now, refined iron is something that is added by industrial craft. Let me go ahead and grab some of this iron over here, and I'll show you what I mean. When you have regular iron ingots and you put them in any kind of furnace, no, not macerator. Jeez. Let's take this out. Okay, when you put iron into a furnace, it re-smelts it into refined iron, which is used in a lot of industrial craft things. So just keep in mind that once you turn it into refined iron, you really can't turn it into anything else. I don't think you can even macerate refined iron. I don't know, let's find out. Oh, I guess you can. So, okay, so theoretically you could turn it back into iron dust and then resmelt it back into regular iron if you needed to. But again, that's, you know, that's a very roundabout process. So, you know, when you start a new game, you want to kind of keep in mind what you're going to do, what method you're going to start off with, and that way when you're down collecting your first set of ores, you can keep a lookout for things that you're going to need to make one of these setups to increase your output. Because honestly, at the end of the day, you want to spend less time in the mine and more time building incredible machines. So, like I said, next time what we're going to look at is we're going to look at some of the power generation that you're going to need to, you know, keep your mind on, and we're going to take a look at what types of power you can create and how to get that started. So, if you're enjoying these episodes, and I certainly hope that you are, please make sure that you leave any comments or suggestions or questions in the comment section below. Make sure that you subscribe if you have not already done so, and slap that like button like it stole something. We will catch you guys next time.